Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the shotgun, Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hey, South.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Let's go.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down. Ryan. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He's got Sanu. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, 44 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. With the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. It was the first time that 2 AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the two of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Back 22. Back 22. Come back. Tiger. Two jet.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And he's going to go down again. Vic Beasley in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
Two jet. Tiger.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Well, with that incompletion, let's look back, Charles, to the NFC title game. We had two excellent conference championship games, but on the NFC side, the Rams winning in overtime thanks to Greg Zuerlein. He had two huge kicks, but that was really overshadowed because afterwards, obviously, everyone talking about the no call.
Yeah, and we should be talking about Legatron. A 48-yarder to get them to overtime. The 57-yarder to win it in overtime. He should be the guy who should be exalted right now, but you're exactly right. Nickel Roby-Coleman's hit on Tommy Lee Lewis in regulation. When I saw it live, I thought it was a bang-bang play. Turned out, it was definitely a missed call. Plus, they missed helmet-to-helmet contact on it as well. So if you're a Saints fan, you are very unexcited about the Rams advancing to the Super Bowl, but I still don't want pass interference to become a reviewable call. The game flow is paramount to me. Let's not slow it down any more than it already is.
Yeah, it could be a slippery slope, then you start doing it with everything, right?
Next thing you know, we'll be reviewing holding. And by the way, you can probably call holding just about every play in the NFL.
Throwing on third down, Watson, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Richmond. Do Jack.
To the air yet again, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Hopkins this year over 1,000 yards again. Fourth time that he's done that in 6 NFL seasons. He had 1,507. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Well, the upcoming Super Bowl, so many storylines, but one that obviously grabs you. Sean McVay just turned 33 January 24th, youngest coach ever to take a team to the Super Bowl. Double that age for Bill Belichick, who's 66. And, Charles, that's the largest gap between coaches in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, and when you think about it, obviously the age comes into play. But to me, it's more the experience. The number of times that the Patriots have gone to the Super Bowl with Belichick leading them versus Sean McVay's first time in the Super Bowl leading the Rams. Will that game experience come into play at all? But I do like this about Sean McVay. Raised in the game, raised up through the NFL system, no matter how young he might be. Remember, his grandfather was a head coach and a GM in the league. He gets it. He understands. I highly expect the moment to be just fine for him and not too big.
On third down, Ryan escaping the pressure right. And it's complete. Hooper. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he whips one in there complete. That's Demaryius Thomas. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. They get it to him running left. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along, because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle, Fairbairn able to put an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half.
And got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. Now Ryan on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
To throw on second is Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. To throw is Watson. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Brandon Dunn continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. Now Ryan on second down. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And now running right through it. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. So they set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
After the interception, here's Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Well, partner, after the conference championship games, there was a lot of talk about the overtime rules, understandably so. Do you think that anything needs to be changed in the NFL overtime situation?
I don't think so. And you got to remember, I'm an old crone, all right? So here's the deal on it. The NFL jumped into popularity with an overtime game. The Baltimore Colts being the New York Giants. Back in, what was it, 1959, 58, 59? That's when the NFL really came into prominence. And it was sudden death. Alan Amici, the Colts got the ball. They scored. No one talked about anything but, boy, what an exciting game. As time went on, people started talking about fairness. So the overtime rule finally got changed. If you score first with a touchdown, the game's over. Otherwise, you keep playing. I think that's pretty cool. And in our two championship games this year, we had overtime in both. Tom Brady and the Patriots won the toss, went downfield, scored a touchdown, ball game. Drew Brees and the Saints won the coin toss, threw an interception. The Rams kicked the field goal and won. Defense still exists if you care to play it.
Here's Watson now on second down. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They'll run it again with Miller.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On second down, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back now here on EA Sports. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. They'll eat some clock with Freeman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Get up! Gun. Hey, let's go! Wait! Let's go!
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Ryan now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Benardrick McKinney in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They begin with a run by Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Check. Come back.
On first down, it's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Again, it's Miller. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Come back.
They'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop.
coming out on the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to throw. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one goes for 24 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. They still need one completion for field goal range.
And just think about what they're going over in the huddle right now. Make the catch, get out of bounds. That's going to be tough to do. So make the catch, get up to the line of scrimmage, and clock it to have one last shot.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He's back to throw. Connects with Sanu right side. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
And this one is right down the middle. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. The home crowd here absolutely loves it, as they should, getting the field goal in the closing moments and likely going to get out of here with a W.
A W, celebrations all around. How about how everyone's going to leave this stadium, right? And you know something?